everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Anjali. So in today's video, I will be talking about my journey. If you feel like that I've been doing a lot of practice but still I'm not getting a result, what is this happening? Because after putting a lot of efforts, I'm not getting result. I'm not improving at all. You feel dubious. You don't feel like putting any further efforts. You don't feel like attempting any further efforts towards learning speaking English. This thing happens with all of us. When we are too much dedicated towards some work and we don't get any result out of it, we feel dubious. We feel gloomy. We feel like why we are doing so. If we are not getting result, what is the use of doing all these things? Because we are unable to get the result. But what happens? I just want to tell you my journey. What happened? The way you are thinking right now, the way you are feeling right now, I have been through that situation. What I came across that in our initial stage, it takes time to learn a language. You'll have to give certain time towards learning a language. It won't happen immediately. Yeah, it's a language and you'll have to understand that. Dedicatingly, you'll have to spend some time towards it without judging yourself and without comparing yourself. Though there are a lot of people around you, they are speaking fluent in English, and why do you need to compare yourself with them? Because they have started long ago and you are just right now you have started your speaking journey. There is going to be huge disparities between you and that person. And this thing always happens. When I was learning speaking English, what right in the inception, when I was making a lot of efforts, I was trying my level best. But what was the thing that I was missing out was not to enjoying the process of learning this language. I was too much indulged into measuring my fluency. I was too much indulged into just comparing myself with others and thinking about, oh my god, they are improving, I'm not improving. What kind of difficulties, what kind of mistakes am I doing? And that's why I'm not improving. The problem is that usually people enjoy it, and when you don't have any enjoyment towards learning a language, you would feel like you start paying a lot more attention towards the result, whatever you attempt. Yeah, dedicatingly, you are doing your efforts, you are making efforts, but you are focusing a lot of the result. And most important thing, result is not in our hand. And the more we'll have to understand that, the more consumption we do, the more practice we do, slowly and gradually we will improve our English. We don't need to worry about it. We don't need to waste our energy thinking about that why we are not improving. And this thing happens with all of us. We doubt ourselves. Whenever we listen to people's video, we start doubting ourselves. My God, they are improving. They are speaking well. But why we are not speaking? Why can't we do the same thing? Why can't we speak in the same way? We have this doubt. We always get this doubt in our initial stage. How you can just face the situation of yours. First important thing, that be positive, because everybody has their different way of grabbing things. Everybody has their different way of learning things. Maybe you are the person who learns a language so fast. I'm the person who doesn't. And maybe you are the person who takes time to learn things. Maybe another person, yeah, who is really good at learning a language. And it totally depends over your process, what process you are indulged in. Yeah, it depends on your process, whatever aspects you are using, what in which aspect you are spending more time. Talking about your listening, listening is very beneficial, we all know. Listening also plays an important role, but what we usually do most of the time, what we do, we consume. Most of the time we just waste our energy to consume English content. It's enough. Entire day, if you're going to consume English content, when will you find time to do your speaking practice? When will you find time? If entire day dedicatingly you are going to consume, this thing happens to all of us, because practice needs efforts, and we don't need to pay efforts. We don't need to pay any kind of efforts towards it. We don't need to get out of our comfort zone. When it comes to talk about practice, we feel unsecured. We feel like, why do we need to do that? When we consume English content, we can improve our English. Why do we need to even make efforts towards practicing speaking English? And this thing happens to me. What I did in my initial stage, I used to focus only one thing, only one direction, that is, I want to consume a lot of English content. And I used to do that. And still, after doing it for many months, I didn't improve. Why? Because I was neglecting the important part, which was practice. I wasn't paying that much attention towards practice. And if you don't pay any kind of attention towards practice, no result you would get, no worthy result you would get in your way. And you'll have to understand that practice plays an important role. Consuming English content is not going to make your tongue to get flexible to speak in English, is not going to make your brain to think in English, because you are just consuming. You are not forcing your brain to speak something or the other in English. You are just paying a lot more attention towards consumption. And consumption is very easy to do. What we need to do, we need to pick a good movie and watch it. And what we need to do, we need to came across an amazing cartoon channel and start watching it. This is what we do when it comes to do consumption. And what practice requires? Practice requires a lot of dedication. Practice requires dedicated time. Practice requires not to be safe in your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone and try to speak it. And we don't want to get rid of our comfort zone. Why do we need to get out of our comfort zone? And this is the problem. I still remember that day when at very first time I tried to speak in English. I made a lot of efforts to speak, and right now I'm creating this video without any kind of force and without forcing myself, without thinking about something or the other. I'm only doing speaking without thinking about that I cannot make it, I cannot do it, and it's gonna be very difficult. No. My first intention of creating this video, whatever message I want to give, I can give it. I can give it very easily because I improved my English and I'm good at this language. Not perfect, not amazing, but good at English. I can easily explain whatever I want to explain in English. So the second problem is that you doubt yourself. You have this doubt. First, you don't prioritize your practice first. You don't prioritize that. You feel like consumption is also going to give you the same benefit of speaking. No, consumption is on its place, speaking it's on its place. Consumption is going to give you its benefits and speaking is going to give you its benefits. If you are going to speak in English, you will get very comfortable in speaking. And if you do entire day, if you consume English content, though you have several thoughts in your mind, but what's the use of all those thoughts if you can't speak them? Yeah, you have watched a movie, you have learned several sentences, you have learned several vocabularies, but what's the use of all those things if you're not capable to speak them? If you're not capable to use them in your day to day life, what is the use? It's useless, it's futile. You're not going to get anything out of it. Consumption is different and speaking is different. Consumption is the consumption, you are just consuming something, you are just feeding your brain with that content. But what is speaking? Speaking is the creation. And we don't focus over creation. We most of the time we focus over consumption because it's very easy to do. What we need to do? It's very easy to do. And what about speaking? It requires efforts. It requires dedicated time. And this is the thing that we can't give. We are not too much dedicated towards it because it makes us to get rid out of our comfort zone, and nobody wants to get rid out of their comfort zone and to try to speak in English and try to approach people and to have a conversation with them in English. We don't. We feel so scared, we feel so scared, and we feel like it's going to be difficult. And our comfort zone makes us not to make efforts and not to approach people and not to have a conversation with them. Because what is going to happen, you will feel so disappointed, you will feel exhausted, and you are going to feel like i'm I don't want to do it. You try to escape from that situation, and one day or the other you will have to face that situation because there is no use. If you're consuming, you are you are dedicating, you are spending your time towards consumption, there is no use if you are not going to do your speaking practice. There is no use if you are not going to approach a person and going to have a conversation with them. It's useless, and you will have to understand that. Without speaking, speaking can't be happen. And without talking to people, you cannot develop that confidence within you. You cannot develop that courage within you to have a conversation with them. One day or the other, you'll have to do it. So why not today? Why not today? Today you have the opportunity. Today you have learned so many things in English. Don't blame, don't doubt yourself. You have learned thousands of things in English, and with the help of all those things, you can easily speak in English without finding any kind of difficulties. You have this doubt that I know nothing. You know everything. You know simple conversation, you know simple sentences, and with the help of those simple sentences, you can easily connect, you can easily have a conversation with people. So stop doubting yourself that I know nothing. You know everything. You have been learning this language quite long, and you have learned several sentences, you have learned several vocabs, and with the help of those sentences, you can have a great conversation with people. Understand this. And most important thing, don't doubt. Give it a try. Have a conversation with them. You're going to learn, you're going to improve. Just sitting at one place and thinking about that one day you are going to become fluent in English, that day will never happen. If you don't, most important thing, if you don't spend your time towards speaking, if you don't dedicate your time towards speaking, if you're not that much courageous to have a conversation with people, nowadays we all have this opportunity. If we want to talk to people, there are several people out there who can talk to us in English, we know. But what we need to do, you know about them, and you have few people who can talk to you in English, but right now you don't have that much guts, you're not that much confident to talk to them. And just understand that without talking to them at first, you are not going to develop that confidence. So one day or the other, you'll have to be very courageous. And why not today? That is important. So go and have a conversation with them, try your level best and communicate with them. There is no biggie. No biggie. Whatever you know, you'll just need to use it simply. You just use it. Use it and speak it. What's the difficulties in it? Try your level best and make a good use out of it. And that would gonna be amazing. That would gonna be fabulous for you. Okay, so you will have to give it a try. Have a conversation with people, whomever you know in your family who know English and who live near you. What you want to do, just go and approach them and have a conversation with them. Be confident and believe in yourself, because believing in yourself is the first and the foremost thing that you can do in order to become the best version of yourself and in order to speak English fluently. Confidence and believing in yourself, both are the things plays an important role. So I hope you found this video very informative. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and share this video with your family members, colleagues. Certain motivation that stop consuming English content, stop consuming a lot of English content, and start paying a lot more attention towards speaking. That is mandatory, that is important. Okay, so this is it for today. Radhe Radhe to you all. I'll see you soon in the next video.